Oh, there's so many attempts to record this because something is wrong with the computer, which is not good. Although it's a lot of things that also is not good in the fairy tale chapter 481. But don't misunderstand, when I'm meaning not good, I mean the amount of despair, at the same time the action, and oh my god, this is the power of his magic happening. As Nineheart not only continued to show his sadistic side by desecrating the dead, it turns out that his magic, Historia of Corpses as I think he calls it, which is obviously a tribute to the chapter title, or more like Historia. Historia, which is French I think for history. Turns out that these are not illusions, but they're not resurrections either. They are manifestations. Manifestations from the memory of people that you remember, whatever they are, strong people, people you have feared, people you have defeated, or even people that you absolutely despised. And they are all connected to each other, as they can, as these manifestations are not just manifestations, they know they are manifestations, at that same time they act like if they were alive, which is a pretty twisted amount of magic. And Nineheart uses also some other magic in order to dispel Jalal and Kagura. Jalal tries to save Kagura from a falling mast. Unfortunately, they fall down the boat and down on the water where the mast almost crushes Jalal. Kagura considers leaving him there, but begins to have a change of heart, which is I think a lot of people are gonna protest about. But I'm gonna say it makes sense to me. In a way, because she has to overcome her hatred. Still doesn't really know who her guild master is and all that, but she has to overcome it because this is one of the themes of this chapter, is to overcome what you fear and overcome your sadness and overcome your adversaries again. I think this is the theme of Nineheart's matches. For Nineheart manifestation, then Azuma, who gives Ersa a very great fight, joined up with Ikaruga. It turns out Ersa has a very difficult fight ahead of her. But it's also revealed that the reason why she's struggling is not because she is just weaker. And when I mean just weaker, it's she is strong, Ersa, but she's wounded. She's tired. She is not in top shape. And that's the reason why she's struggling against this. As Nineheart continues to taunt her about the history of corpses and how much beauty and all that stuff exists in there. Oh, so we have once again, one of those guys. He then manifestations Kyoka, the demon, too, as he spreads his Historia over the battlefield, almost similar to when Agil used his sand world and when Dimara froze the entire time. Gotta say, a lot of the Spring Imps seems to have pretty simple magic, and yet they have turned it into extremely powerful ones. Granted, however, Dimara's magic was not simple. I mean, her takeover sounded simple. Technically, though, I don't understand that magic at all either. But her time-stopping ability was a game breaker. Moreover, now he spreads his Historia where Grey and Leon has to overcome their past and prove they have surpassed their master, because yes, Ur is being manifested before them, and Melody has to overcome her fear of Sankroth, and Juvia once again has to face the demon that tortured her almost. It's Keith who confirms this magic is different than his necromancy. It's almost like memories of the powerful warriors are being conjured before your eyes. And Wendy once again has to overcome the most difficult opponent she faced alone. Ezeel, this child-hating demon. Oh, but Luxus, he has the most troublesome of all. Still tired, he has to prove that that the blood of Yurid can overcome Hades once again. Yeah, that's pretty discrediting the dead. A lot of people I think are gonna protest though that many of these that manifested are enemies, and some are even people you fear. But what is Ur? And again, I think that's the power of his magic and the power of this theme here. The people have to overcome their fear. Gray always blamed himself for Ur's death, and Leon always wanted to surpass Ur. They never hated her, but at the same time they always considered themselves inferior to her. Now they have the chance to prove to overcome that. As has Meredy, she has to prove she is a new changed person by defeating Sankrop, a man who never wanted to change. The same can also be said about Juvia. Can she overcome the one who almost broke her? Moreover, will Wendy proves to be strong again? And what about Laxus? He is badly hurt. He could barely fight Hades the first time either. And Ersa, she is alone fighting those three manifestations of her greatest enemies. Although Kagura managed to bring Jalal back up, her heart once again wavers as she realizes that Jalal is not breathing. She resolves to resurrect him, well, not resurrect him, bring him back to life. First, I know is another word. She performs CPR on him, which I think is a lot of gonna say the Kajils fans are gonna scream. But next week's chapter is called Vigor, which is also I think gonna be a hint, heroic willpower to overcome the past one. But I wonder, is Nineheart a threat even without his Historia magic? He seems to be someone who prefers to sit down and taunt, but what we have learned from the Springham, they are not to be underestimated, so it wouldn't surprise me if Nineheart has something else, given how proud he is of this psychological thing. I think has some other trick up his sleeve, but I'm looking forward to the day he gets punched in the face or slashed. So give me your thoughts if you have any, because this chapter was a solid one. How will they overcome all their fears?